When selecting service entrance cable or SEU cable for a 225 amp panel, several factors must be considered to ensure a safe and code-compliant installation. The most important of these is ampacity, which refers to the current carrying capacity of the cable. The cable must be sized appropriately to handle the expected load without overheating or posing a fire hazard. In this case, a 400 kc mil cable is recommended. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for determining the appropriate wire size based on the ampacity of the circuit and the type of insulation used. These tables take into account factors such as the ambient temperature and the number of current carrying conductors in a raceway or cable. For a 225 amp service, it is crucial to consult the NEC to ensure that the selected cable meets the minimum ampacity requirements. Specifically, you'll want to refer to NEC Table 310.15b16, formerly known as 310.16, which provides ampacity ratings for various conductors based on insulation type and temperature rating. The type of insulation used in the SEU cable will affect its ampacity. Common insulation types include THHN, THWN, and XHHW. Each of these insulation types has a different temperature rating, which affects its ampacity. For example, THHN insulation has a high temperature rating than THWN insulation, so it can carry more current at the same ambient temperature. SEU cable typically consists of two phase conductors and a neutral conductor. The neutral conductor may be smaller than the phase conductors depending on the expected neutral load. The NEC allows for a reduced neutral size in some cases, but it is important to calculate the neutral load accurately to ensure that the neutral conductor is adequately sized. The length of the service entrance cable run can also affect the required cable size. If the cable run is long, voltage drop can become a concern. Voltage drop occurs when the voltage at the load end of the cable is lower than the voltage at the source end. This can cause equipment to malfunction or not operate properly. To minimize voltage drop, it may be necessary to increase the size of the service entrance cable. The NEC provides guidelines for calculating voltage drop and determining the appropriate cable size to minimize it. When selecting SEU cable, it is important to choose a cable that is listed and labeled by a recognized testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories or UL. This ensures that the cable has been tested and meets the applicable safety standards. The cable should also be suitable for the intended environment. For example, if the cable will be exposed to sunlight or moisture, it should be rated for outdoor use. In Massachusetts, local electrical codes may have additional requirements for service entrance cable. It is important to consult with a licensed electrician or the local electrical inspector to ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and regulations. Factors affecting the selection of SEU cable include the service amperage, the distance of the run from the service entrance to the panel, the material the wire is made of, and the ambient temperature where the wire is run. The service amperage is the maximum amount of current that the electrical panel is designed to handle. In this case, the service amperage is 225 amps. The distance of the run is the length of the wire from the service entrance to the panel. The longer the run, the larger the wire size that will be required to minimize voltage drop. The material the wire is made of also affects the wire size. Copper wire has a higher ampacity than aluminum wire, so a smaller copper wire can be used to carry the same amount of current as a larger aluminum wire. The ambient temperature is the temperature of the air surrounding the wire. The higher the ambient temperature, the lower the ampacity of the wire. This is because the wire will heat up more quickly in a hot environment, and the insulation may break down if the wire gets too hot. To determine the correct size SEU cable for a 225 amp panel, you will need to consult the NEC. The NEC provides tables that list the ampacity of different sizes of wire based on the type of wire, the insulation type, and the ambient temperature. You will also need to consider the distance of the run and the voltage drop. Once you have gathered all of this information, you can use the NEC tables to determine the correct size SEU cable for your application. It is always best to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that you are selecting the correct size wire for your electrical panel. An electrician will be able to assess your specific situation and make recommendations based on your needs. Failure to select the correct size wire can result in overheating, voltage drop, and even fires. Therefore, it is important to take the time to do your research and consult with a professional before making any decisions. Other considerations include the number of conductors in the cable. A CU cable typically has 2 insulated conductors and a bare neutral conductor. The ampacity of the cable is based on the number of current-carrying conductors. If the cable has more than 3 current-carrying conductors, the ampacity must be derated according to the NEC. The derating factor depends on the number of conductors and the ambient temperature. It is important to consult the NEC to determine the appropriate derating factor for your application. The type of load served by the electrical panel can also affect the required cable size. If the panel serves a continuous load, such as lighting or heating, the ampacity of the cable must be increased by 25%. This is because continuous loads generate more heat than non-continuous loads. The NEC defines a continuous load as a load that operates for 3 hours or more at a time. If the panel serves a mix of continuous and non-continuous loads, it is important to calculate the total load and determine the appropriate cable size based on the total load. The location of the electrical panel can also affect the required cable size. If the panel is located in a hot or humid environment, the ampacity of the cable may need to be derated. This is because the cable will heat up more quickly in a hot environment, and the insulation may break down if the cable gets too hot. The NEC provides guidelines for derating cable ampacity based on ambient temperature. It is important to consult the NEC to determine the appropriate derating factor for your application. The type of overcurrent protection used in the electrical panel can also affect the required cable size. The overcurrent protection device, such as a circuit breaker or fuse, must be sized to protect the cable from overloads and short circuits. The NEC requires that the overcurrent protection device be sized no larger than the ampacity of the cable. However, there are some exceptions to this rule. For example, if the cable is used to supply a motor, the overcurrent protection device may be sized larger than the ampacity of the cable. It is important to consult the NEC to determine the appropriate overcurrent protection device for your application. The method of installation can also affect the required cable size. If the cable is installed in conduit, the ampacity of the cable may need to be derated. This is because the conduit can trap heat and cause the cable to overheat. The NEC provides guidelines for derating cable ampacity when installed in conduit. It is important to consult the NEC to determine the appropriate derating factor for your application. If the cable is installed in free air, the ampacity of the cable may be increased. This is because the free air allows the cable to dissipate heat more effectively. The NEC provides guidelines for increasing cable ampacity when installed in free air. It is important to consult the NEC to determine the appropriate ampacity for your application. In summary, selecting the correct size SCU cable for a 225 amp panel requires careful consideration of several factors, including ampacity, insulation type, voltage drop, environmental conditions, and local electrical codes. Consulting with a licensed electrician and referring to the NEC are essential steps in ensuring a safe and code-compliant installation. Remember that the information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. It is crucial to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector to ensure that your electrical installation meets all applicable codes and regulations. A 400 kcmil cable is often used as a general recommendation, but specific circumstances may necessitate a different size. Always prioritize safety and compliance when working with electricity. The selection of appropriate service entrance conductors is paramount for the safe and reliable operation of any electrical system. Failing to properly size the conductors can lead to a variety of problems, including overheating, voltage drop, and even electrical fires. Therefore, it is essential to have a thorough understanding of the factors that influence conductor sizing and to follow the guidelines provided by the National Electrical Code. Firstly, consider the load requirements. The first step in selecting service entrance conductors is to determine the total load that the conductors will be required to carry. This includes both the connected load and the demand load. The connected load is the sum of the ratings of all the electrical equipment that is connected to the system. The demand load is the maximum amount of power that is expected to be used at any one time. The demand load is typically less than the connected load, as not all of the equipment will be operating simultaneously. Secondly, examine ampacity ratings. Once the total load has been determined, the next step is to select conductors that have sufficient ampacity to carry the load safely. The ampacity of a conductor is the maximum amount of current that it can carry continuously without overheating. The ampacity of a conductor is determined by its size, material, and insulation type. The NEC provides tables that list the ampacity of various conductors based on these factors. Thirdly, account for voltage drop. In addition to ampacity, voltage drop is another important factor to consider when selecting service entrance conductors. Voltage drop is the decrease in voltage that occurs as current flows through a conductor. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or not operate properly. The NEC recommends that voltage drop be limited to 3% for branch circuits and 5% for feeders. To minimize voltage drop, it may be necessary to increase the size of the service entrance conductors. Fourthly, contemplate environmental conditions. The environmental conditions in which the service entrance conductors will be installed can also affect their ampacity. For example, conductors that are installed in hot environments or in direct sunlight will have a lower ampacity than conductors that are installed in cool environments or in the shade. The NEC provides adjustment factors that can be used to compensate for the effects of environmental conditions on conductor ampacity. Fifthly, be mindful of the type of cable. Service entrance cable is available in a variety of types, each with its own advantages and disadvantages. Some common types of service entrance cable include SE, US, and UF cable. SE cable is typically used for above-ground installations, while US and UF cable are typically used for underground installations. The type of cable that is selected will depend on the specific application and the local codes and regulations. Sixthly, reference the National Electrical Code. The National Electrical Code is a comprehensive set of standards for the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment. The NEC provides detailed guidelines for selecting service entrance conductors, including ampacity requirements, voltage drop calculations, and environmental adjustment factors. It is essential to consult the NEC when selecting service entrance conductors to ensure that the installation meets all applicable safety requirements. Seventhly, seek professional guidance. Selecting the correct size service entrance conductors can be a complex task. If you are not familiar with the electrical wiring in the National Electrical Code, it is best to consult with a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician can assess your specific needs and recommend the appropriate size conductors for your application. They can also ensure that the installation is done safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Therefore, a 400 kc mil aluminum conductor is used because aluminum conductors offer a balance of ampacity and cost effectiveness for many service entrance applications. The specific choice between copper and aluminum conductors will depend on factors such as local codes, cost considerations, and personal preferences.